gonna exploit black people. You get ready to exploit black people, so let me exploit your ass. Let me exploit you. Let me exploit you. You racist piece of shit. Let me exploit you, you racist piece of shit, and I'm gonna put you everywhere, because I bet you I got more followers than you.
Oh, wow.
Come on, you want to exploit a black man. You want to exploit these police officers doing whatever that they're doing. What if it was your brother? What? Because you don't care.
Do you know the Constitution, ma'am?
You
can record
and
things.
His Constitution don't mean shit to you.
Just know your rights.
Don't mean. Oh, I know my rights, and my rights
Obviously
are different from yours. My rights are different from yours. So I'll just shut the f up.
Really?
You want to know why? Because that's a black man, and you're a white boy.
We finna keep the peace.
You're a white boy.
You got your footage.
You're a white boy.
You got the rights to record. Go ahead,
and
push
you're
it down.
exploiting our life.
It's okay though. Look.
You don't care. I know you don't care.
Don't commit crimes.
I know you don't care. Not commit crime. It's not a fucking crime.
That's ignorant because you don't even know what happened.
You don't know what he's doing.
I saw it on Twitter. He hitting off. What the fuck?
See shit.
Yeah,
I'm saying though, but like for you to say that, I feel you, bro. Do your thing, but like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, true.
So it's all good.
That's wild. People can arrest you by the things that they see you do on Twitter. I know my rights. My rights are different from yours. You want to know why? Because that's a black man. She's more racist than a far-right Twitter. Jesus always watching. What's wrong with you? A young man with Down syndrome being robbed in plain sight at a metro stop in France, while the bystander do nothing. What do you want them to do? If you defend yourself, you get arrested. If you help, you get arrested. If you do nothing, you're free. We live in a society that most people don't have to be accountable anymore. And if that doesn't work, all they have to do is be empathetic. You do what you gotta do, because there's no consequence. I don't get people who are stealing. Why would you steal meat? Why? Duh! They're going to have a barbecue and it's going to be lit. And there's no consequence because they can rob you without the gun. I'm like, why? How did you not see this coming? I have one eye. I always see it. But hey, let's look at the positive side. He didn't hurt the person, but he could at least invite them to the barbecue.
With my credit card, I maxed that out to $4,000.
What do you mean you max it out? Max it out or maxed it out?
I got confused with the credit debt and credit limit. So my parents got me a credit card. I ended up getting a max credit limit of $8,000. So I could spend up to $8,000. That's what that means, right?
I don't know if I'm pro-choice.
Me and my boyfriend and me and my friends, we would go out and I'd be like, oh, I'll pay for everybody. I got it. It's just a credit card. I would pay and pay and pay and pay. And then I called my mom one day and I wanted her to be proud of me. So it's just like, hey, I've got $4,000 credit on my credit card. And she's like, credit limit or credit debt? I was like, what's debt? And she's like, that's bad. I'm like, I thought that was good. And she's like, no, your credit limit at the time it was $8,000. So I was like, okay, well the credit limit's $8,000. That's good, right? And she's like, yes, but you were $4,000 in debt. And then they were like, screw it, you're not going to pay this off in time. Give it to me. So my parents took it and they're still currently paying it off right now.
What surprises me even more is that you wasted money, but you thought you did something good. Only people that think that is the human right that everybody should have would consider that normal. In other words, the people that are in government think like this person.
I'd rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear.
The bear. 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 Bear.
And today,
Can I pet that dog?
No, no.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
This mommy is smart.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure, right? Like none of this stuff in the studio is built or maintained by women. Do you know that like 90% of infrastructure jobs are still held by men? Mm-hmm. And that if you look at the top 20 jobs held by women now in 2024 versus 1924 are almost the exact same. So women have had 100 years to do whatever they want, and they still do the same 20 jobs they did 100 years ago, other than we switched out farm labor for HR work. But other than that, we're secretaries, nurses, daycare ladies, early childhood education, administrative assistants, retail workers, all the same shit that we were a century ago. So
that last lady, she ain't happy.
Oh, I'm beating your ass.
why do we have this idea that women were historically oppressed? Were they actually oppressed? Mm-hmm. If you go back and read their writings at the time in the 17th, 18th, 19th century, they said, no, we're privileged. And then you'll hear a feminist say something like, well, but they couldn't have bank accounts. But they never tell you why. It's because legally, women could not be held responsible for supporting the family. Women could not accrue debt that way. And what would be the point of a woman owning a bunch of land if she can't make the land produce anything? She can't defend the land against people who might come and try to take it. There were practical reasons for these things. Why would we want to task women with defense of persons and property? So why would we want to grant them voting
I would be
rights?
so pissed if I called the cops and they sent me a female cop. I would be
That's the thing,
so
right?
pissed.
If there's a natural disaster, there's like a huge hurricane that takes out the entire southeast, right? And the power's out.
You have
and
a
there's
female
flood.
firefighter.
Nobody's like, oh, send
I'm
the
an athlete.
In all honesty, if my house is burning and I call and the firefighter is a bunch of ladies,
Slay!
I don't exactly feel safe if they need to go save my son, but we all know they are lowering the minimum power that you need to pass the test as a woman compared to a man. A burning building or a burning door doesn't care about the test.
As fast as you can. And high, high.
Come out!
Come out, come out, come out.
That's such a great effort.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just 2 more throws and you would have been there.
All I'm saying is you can do whatever you want, but I want you to be able to do a specific test at a specific level, so at least I can trust your strength because you're better than me.
2 points for Quinn! Big Quinn! That's tough for you.
A man with no firefighter training has no trouble with the same task.
Those who advocated for the wage increase say it helps California's fast food workers make ends meet in this expensive state.
The majority of minimum wage workers are not teenagers. They're people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, even some seniors. And a lot of these people have children.
We must ensure that our fast food workers are able to thrive in their workplace and in their communities.
I reached out to Rubio's to ask whether the $20 minimum wage played into their decision to close 48 California locations. A spokesperson didn't answer that directly, but did say in a statement the closings were brought about by the rising cost of doing business in California after a thorough review of Rubio's operations and the current business climate.
The sheer number of restaurants that they're closing is pretty extraordinary.
He says many restaurant owners are now choosing between raising prices for customers, cutting worker hours, or some combination of the two.
Because if you don't, you're not profitable and you can't stay in business.
It's always the same thing. They want to help. A bunch of people get fired. A bunch of stores get closed. You raise the prices because you need to pay the people more. And in the end, you don't help the poor, but you help the rich. But you're saying you're helping the poor and you're not helping the richer. I'm like, what the heck is happening?
Right to jail.
Oh. Excuse me. Where's Brendan?
Man, you better get up off
Where's
me,
Brendan?
man.
Where's Brendan?
Get away from me, bro.
No, don't.
Hey, you need to get, hey, get off. You gotta go. I will get off. Right now. I don't care. Get off.
That's racist.
I actually feel sorry for the daughter. You can see her embarrassment in her face. Terrible father. He took her moment and made it about him and his hang-ups. This 100% guarantee she will marry a black man and have children with a black man. What did the superintendent do to make the father feel he had to protect his daughter from this person? There are details we need on this matter. Okay, I got it for you, you racist.
They don't want him to be able to shake her down because he doesn't deserve it from her and all the she went through in this district. I'm not aware of allegations where Dr. Gray doing anything to your daughter specifically. No, it wasn't him specifically, but she was expelled for doing the same thing that was done to her, and nothing happened to the previous people, and we didn't have the meeting in there with him, the school board. Like an expulsion, you mean? Yeah, and he would roll his eyes when I brought up the fact that the same thing happened to her, and you.
He did it because allegedly his daughter had gotten bullied or assaulted or something of that nature, and the school staff did nothing about it.
And when the father was complaining, hey, what about my daughter? Somebody rolled their eyes. Won't that piss you off? I can roll 6 eyes for him. Hey, let's go.
That's one thing we agree on.
But I do think he was wrong. He embarrassed his daughter, and he could just let her get the diploma and leave and enjoy the moment.
There are always consequences.
This is just another narrative for people that don't know the whole story because they don't care about the whole story, because that ideology is maintained by not knowing the whole story.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Buta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, durloqueta, verdeta, welcome.